Let us bow our heads for prayer. Father, we thank you, lover of young people. Teenage program. We pray thee, God of heaven and earth, to come and direct us so that this program will be a program of the year. That in our lives and memory, the effect, the impact of this program will not be forgotten. Amen. We ask, O Lord, that even though we are having it at this end of the year, you will use the proceed to pattern the rest of our lives beginning from next year. And if there is any one of us who may have made a wrong choice or a wrong decision and is seated there and wishing, how I wish this program came earlier. Lord, may that tears, may that cry, may it never go unnoticed. Lord, move through this congregation and all over Port Harcourt region and all over the places where people are joining this program virtually to correct our lives, to amend our errors and mistakes, to guide and help us find a good path for our career. Lord, bless us in this program so that we shall go back home with testimonies. We pray, oh God, that you will use our facilitators, those who are here physically present, and those who are not physically present, who are joining us via the internet. We ask, oh Lord, that you give them the wisdom of Solomon to attend to every human need. And at the end of it all, are we going to become professionals only here on earth? Are we going to only practice our career here on earth? How about heaven? How about that street of gold? How about that pearly gate? How about that building that you have gone to prepare for us? May none of us children miss that place. Even our facilitators, we are not too big for that place. Lord, please, may none of us miss that place. The ultimate is that we will shake hands with the elders and we will sit around the throne and we will hear that glad welcome. Jesus, please come and do it for us. Thank you for starting with us. We know you've answered our prayers. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. I all most welcome to this career program that we have for this afternoon. The title of the program is Know Your Profession. Can we all say that together? Know your profession. Okay, this program is targeted at teenagers at your level that you are making decision. Should I be in science class? Should I be in arts? Should I be in commercial? One. Also, for you, who is thinking, I need to go to university. What do I really want to do? Our target is to open your eyes to some things that you may not know about professions. And so this afternoon, we're coming with 10 professions. And so we'll be having 10 facilitators to take us through the program. Now, this program is an hybrid program. We're talking, it is for all teenagers across Port Harcourt region. And so, as we are gathered here, Other teenagers are gathered across the region. And so I like to say good afternoon to every one of you out there, and may God bless you. And so I need to tell us a little about what you should be looking at this afternoon. You should open your heart to know that those who will be talking to you, they are professionals. And so, by the grace of God, some of them have practiced for close to 20 years, some 15 years, some 10 years. So they'll be talking to you based on experience over the years. And so, for somebody who is in the university and you're like, oh, I'm in electrical, I'm studying electrical engineering, and I'm in 400 level, and the next thing by 500 level, you need to specialize in a particular field. This program is still for you because we have about 3 engineers, about 2 engineers who will be talking to us. And so they'll be talking from different areas of engineering. So for engineering this afternoon, you'll be having Bro Victor Nketa. Okay, let me mention those who are on site. We have Bro Francis Esicott. Bro Francis Esicott, we welcome you. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Yeah, good. Round of applause. Also, we have a lawyer among us who will be speaking to us based on law, and that is Brother Cornelius OBCK, Barrister Cornelius OBCK. Right. And we have an accountant among us here too. We'll be taking accounting, and that is our brother Chidi Arikibe. God bless you, bro Chidi. All right. And WCS, I don't know if we have others online, so let me just mention their names. If you have them online, you can just project them. All right. We have, for education, we have Sister Ayotomi Fashui. Sister Ayotomi Fashui, we can see you. Can you wave? No. Let's see the Zoom. Bring the Zoom link. Bring the Zoom link. Let's see the. Okay, Sister Ayotomi Fashui, can you wave to the house? Wave to the house.
No, good evening. Nice to be here.
Okay, God Sister Ayotomi Fashui will be handling the education, and also for banking, we have Brother Stanley Obi. Bro Stanley Obi, can you bring just go back to where we have all of them. Just go back to the Zoom link where we have all of them. Just go back to that Zoom link. They can wait from there without you putting any of them on spot. Okay, fine. So fine. That is bro. Okay, Sister Tommy joined us from Ondo State. Sister Tommy is in Ondo State. She's joining from Ondo State. Bro Stanley is in Abia State. Bro Stanley, let's go to Bro Stanley now. Bro Stanley is in Abia State. He's joining us from Aba in Abia. So Bro Stanley, we'd like you to wave to the house. WCS, just leave them there. I need don't worry, when you get to their profile, you will now use this. Just go to the Zoom link and just spotlight all of them. Don't pick them one after the other. It's off. Okay, Zoom is off. Sorry. No, but the Zoom is on. This is what I want. Okay, fine. Okay. Bro Stanley picture is off. Now, to discuss IT, information technology, we have Sister Temitope Victor Ime. Sister Temitope Victor, can you wave to the house? Just wave to the house. Let's
Hi.
see you. Oh, fine. That's Sister Temitope Victor. Okay. To discuss medical science, medicine, we have Brother Oluwayomi Oyewole. No, don't remove this thing. Who is doing this? Leave it there. Yeah. Bro Oluwayomi. Can you wave to the house, bro Oluwayomi? I can see you. Your hand is just on your camera. Okay, he will be. Yeah, God bless you, brother. God bless you. Okay, now for the field of engineering, we'll be having two facilitators. The lead facilitator is Brother Victor Nketa. Bro Victor Nketa, wave to the house. God bless you, Bro Victor. And also, we have Bro Jackson Igbe. Bro Jackson Igbe, can you wave to us? Okay, God bless you, sir. Thank you very much. All right, so we have our facilitators, and I tell you that by the grace of God, the program promises to be a very wonderful program. So at this point, I will be leaving the stage, and I'll lean over to the moderators. The moderators will now be taking over from this point, and they will be taking us through the program. Now, you can now go to the introduction, really, of the facilitator. God bless you, and God bless everybody. You need to be fast about this. Thank you. Okay, sorry, permit me to also introduce our moderators. We have Brother Uko Promise as one, and we also have Gift Wheel as the second moderator. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Once again, a round of applause for all our facilitators, once again, for making it down to this wonderful program. And without much further ado, I'd like to go straight to the program. Our leader has told us what the program entails as young persons to know our career paths, what to do, the subject combinations. Even those in the higher institution can also avail themselves of this wonderful event. And to start with that, we want to go straight to the very first facilitator. The very first facilitator, and that is for the law. And we'll be calling on Barrister OBCK Cornelius A. Alechi to take up the floor in the field of law. Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to go first direct to the topic. I am here to present to you the much I think I should say here concerning law and the legal practitioner. You see, our society is filled up with decisions, actions which are considered right and sometimes wrong. And because they are considered right and wrong, many people tend to go in the other way or the other side of it. The law becomes so important. The law becomes so important in order to protect the vulnerable, those who are not able to take care of themselves in the society. That's the essence of the law. The law is made to protect those who are vulnerable. So as a lawyer, there are so many things to it, but I want to start that the law profession itself is a highly noble profession. When I say highly noble profession, it is practiced to public interest, to protect public interest. Now, when we talk about the legal practitioner, when I actually say it's a highly noble profession, I mean that there are laws which are set aside, which are kept or made to protect or to keep the profession its nobility. We have here what we call the Legal Practitioners Act of 2004. We also have another one, the Rules of Professional Conduct 2007. These laws were made so that when you are practicing law, you are practicing law. You are not deviating, and if you deviate, going against the standard or the ethics of the profession, there are laws that will affect you, that they will use to deal with you. So that is why we say it's a noble profession. Now, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a lawyer as a student in secondary school, there are core subjects which you are supposed to take. And these core subjects include English and mathematics. Other ones are literature, CRK, the Christian Religious Study or Christian Religious Knowledge, and government. If you're able to pass to a credit level, these 5 subjects, and you pass JAM, you have admission to do law. Now, when you, that is at the level of your secondary school, that is not all. When you are admitted, like I told you, even from the admission, you begin to notice the difference in your life. They want to make you to be fit and proper. Make you to be fit and proper both in the manner of your dressing, in the manner of your conversation, and so many other things, even in, I'm talking about university level. Thereafter, the university courses are different from the law school courses. For you to be, you can be a graduate of law, but you're not a lawyer. You're not a legal practitioner. Do you understand what I mean? You can be a graduate of law, you have graduated from university, but you are just a law graduate. Until you have gone to law school and then pass the law school exams and be called to bar. At that time, you'll be awarded a certificate called barrister at law. It's only when you are called to bar and you have passed the law school exams where you are called to bar that you can now practice as a lawyer. Maybe you must have had issues about fake lawyers being arrested and prosecuted, even here sometimes last week or so in Port Harcourt here. So if you are not qualified because you have gone to law school, you have gone to university as a graduate, you are not entitled to practice law. When you graduate as a lawyer, there are so many opportunities that are up to you. You are a versatile person. It does not limit you to any particular area. It does not limit you. You can go to anywhere. Even when you want to do business, it enhances how you do your business. Law enhances the way you affect your business because nobody will harass you. Even the police officers, when they know that you're a lawyer, at least they give you your way. They will not disturb you. So law gives you certain privileges that you will enjoy as a lawyer. Now, so in that respect, you can be employed as a judge. And when I say to be employed as a judge is an institution on his own. He's sitting as a judge. His decisions are final. He lords it over the other mortals. So what he says is final. As a judge, can be employed as a judge, can be employed as a magistrate, can be employed as a member of the customary court, which is either as a chairman or members. You can work as a legal assistant to a judge. You can work in the judiciary in any capacity. You can equally practice as a private citizen. There are so many opportunities. You can practice or work as a lawyer. It does not limit you that you have a law certificate. What it means is that with your certificate, you can even become a company's secretary. It can be so many things. It does not limit you to any particular area. Law profession gives you an advantage over other professions because you, remember, we said they are called learned what? Friends or learned colleague. And when we say learned, except you are in that profession, you cannot be called a learned person. So it gives you so many edges against other professions. You can query the status of other professions as a lawyer. And if time is not taken, you see yourself doing very well, even in that profession. So I encourage you that the law profession is a good one. It will give you greater advantage. Some people say lawyers are liars. And I tell you, it is not true. Because in today's practice, you meet those who are Christians, whose practice through their faith, has made them who they are. They are not there to defeat or to say things that are unnecessary, but they tell you the truth. Now, what does a lawyer do? A lawyer comes to you, listening to you, to your problems. A lawyer will advise you on your problems. A lawyer will expose you to the alternative options available to you in case of anything. If you want to go this way or you want to go that way, a lawyer will tell you this is one. And we always want to take brief or instructions from you on what to do. And it's a lawyer's duty also to represent you in all ramifications. But a lawyer can equally refuse to represent you, but he has a duty to represent you. But in the event that what is the instructions you are giving to him contradicts his practice, the principles or ethics of his practice, he has a right not to go that way, not to take it. He has a right to drop you and move ahead. So there are so many things about law practice. At the university level, at the law school level, the courses here are different from the courses you study at the school, at the university level. We have what we call the civil litigation, of course, criminal litigation, property law practice, corporate law practice, professional ethics and skills. These are the major 5 courses you study there in the law school. And remember, the law school exam is just once. It's not taken in a semester level, it's just taken once in a year. And all that you have learned or you are learning within that year, you have to bring them out just within a week or within that time. So it is not easy. It's not easy, both in financial cost and otherwise. But when you look unto Christ and you don't have a passion for it, because you must have passion for this profession. If you don't have passion, it's difficult for you to go through it. You must have passion to read volumes. You must appreciate volumes. You know what I mean by appreciating volumes? You see books that are bigger, be able to go into it and want to devour all of it. Not only reading them like that, reading them to understand why you are reading such books. You must appreciate volumes. Law is not easy financial, it has some financial cost, but I tell you, it is something that you don't regret when you are a lawyer. It gives you certain privileges, give you certain rights, and certain opportunities that other people in other professions may not have. As a lawyer, you can walk into any offices of your choice. Just tell them, I'm so person. I want to see so person. You are allowed to see the person. Just mentioning who you are is enough for them to open the door for you to go in. So you enjoy so many privileges as a lawyer. And I encourage you that you take the law profession as one of those best professions, and you will never regret it. Thank you.
You can do better than that. You can do better than that. All right. Thank you so much. On that being said, I want to seriously encourage us to hope again with the writing materials to write, and to write whatever the volumes of things will be said. Make sure you jot things down. Make sure you jot things down. Those things you've written down, you recall it. You may say, my brain is that. But then the ones you've written, you could always fall back to them. Thank you so much, sir. It will also interest you to know that Barrister Elechi Obisike Esquire practices law, a barrister at the Supreme Court of Nigeria. And also he's a principal partner managing solicitor, Ilium Law Firm. And he has some wonderful certifications that accrue his profession, like the NCE, Social Studies, Political Science, BSc Education, Political Science, LLB Honors, BL Barrister at Law. You can be clapping if you want to. Please be clapping. It's not easy. These are certifications that cost time, finance, and all you may want to think of. And also, LLM in view. These acronyms are something for those of us that want to go to law would get to find out. Thank you very much once again. And to have our next facilitator, my co-anchor will just do that.
The next facilitator speaking to us on engineering is Engineer Victor Nketa. He'll be joining us online and will be talking to us on engineering. And the special thing about him is that he's got 15 years of experience and he works as SPDC. I don't know if any of us knows what SPDC is. SPDC is Shell Petroleum Development Corporation. So he'll be giving us talk on engineering. A round of applause as we welcome Engineer Victor Nketa.
And also note, he'll be joining us online. He's already there. And secure to that, after Victor Nketa, our next facilitator will be Engineer Jackson Ibe. Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? You can hear me. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you from here. We
Hello?
can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
But I don't think they can hear me in the main hall. Please, you can hear me from the main hall. Just wave your hand. Let me see. Oh, I don't.
They can't hear you in the main hall yet, so I'm trying to go to.
Let's hear him, please. Victor, please hold on while we fix the sound over here. Thank you.
What's happening? What happened now? He's not muted. We don't have audio outside. There's audio. I'm on the group. He's talking. I can hear him. There's audio here. So you check your audio settings.
Sam, can you hear me? Yeah, audio doesn't work.
Uncle Samuel.
Sir, please, can you say something now? Let's check if we are off.
So, can you hear me now?
Say no, go check that place.
Hello, Sam, can you hear me?
Sam. Yes, I can hear you. Turn on the. Just a minute, sir. Okay. Can you go ahead, sir?
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
There's no audio here.
Wow. But Sam, I can hear you.
Yes, we are still working.
Okay, they said they can hear me. They said they can hear
to fix some technical issues, we'll have to move on our facilitators that are here with us. And to do that, we just want to go straight to our next facilitator.
Sir, you have to hold on a little. Let's try to resolve this while the facilitators are on site. Julia, so we'll call you later.
In the person of Mr. Asian Francis Esicott. He's an Associated Maritime Service Limited worker, a finance manager, and he has certain designations, certain certifications that accrue his name. And please, while I call these certifications, do well to encourage and appreciate what God has done in his life. He has BS in Management, CFA, ACTI, ACMA UK, CGMA, and FCA. As I said earlier, and point to note is he has more than 25 years of experience in his field. 25 good years. And he'll be taking us on entrepreneurship. So I hope your books are out, your pens are ready, and you're here for a good one. Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I will go straight without wasting any much time. First of all, I want to start by referring you to Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. And paraphrase, it is God that gives us the ability to create wealth. And when he gives us that ability, he will establish his promises. And Proverbs 13:11, wealth that is gotten by vanity will diminish. But when we gather wealth by labor, it will increase. I'm talking about entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship simply means the ability to set a business and to run the business. One thing is sure, whether you are doing a white-collar job, one day you will retire, sometimes you will be retrenched, and at other times, you will resign from the job. Whatever the case you find yourself, whether you're working, any of these three conditions will meet with you. But what is most important is that you can choose to design your path and to do business. If we look around, the impact of technology, the level of unemployment, economic policies of countries are failing, plans that are already put in place are failing. What is the best alternative? Entrepreneurship. Doing your own business, running your business, and managing your business. And what does entrepreneurship do? It creates value. It creates wealth. And that's why even in schools today, secondary education, tertiary education, entrepreneurship becomes part of your course. You study it at this level, and even in the university, you can run it as a profession. And so entrepreneurship is very key. It is what drives the economy. It was drive the business. It was what drives your personal values. I want to establish that entrepreneurship cuts across all the professions. Whatever profession you choose to do, accounting, law, engineering, agriculture, marketing, whatever the profession, entrepreneurship accommodates all of it. You can be an entrepreneur in any aspect of your profession. What is most important is for you to understand what is required to run the business. And so it's not restricted to one trade or one vocation, but it cuts across all the professions. For you to be a good entrepreneur, you need the God factor. God becomes indispensable for you. Why? Because God himself is a great entrepreneur. The earth was made by him and is running smoothly, and everything is working according to God's plan. And so if you must be successful as an entrepreneur, you need God to be your number one factor. You must consider him because he will be able to guide you, to direct you, to instruct you. And that place where you can build that relationship with God is by praying and asking God, what kind of business should I do? When God is part of your business plan, when you carry God along, it will reduce the time of trial and error. It will reduce your period of wasting. And then God will be able to guide you and tell you, this is the business you should do. This is the pathway you should follow. And if you follow God, he will be able to make it happen for you. For you to be a good entrepreneur, to run a business, you must carry out a feasibility study. What is feasibility study? Simply means you carry out a research. What kind of business can I do? Where will this business succeed? Who and who will help me to run this business? If I start this business, can it work? Will it run successfully? These are things you need to search out. And in searching out these things, you carry out what we call what? Feasibility what? Studies. And then you draw a business plan. You must draw a business plan. It is not enough to have imagination in your head. This is the business I will do. This is how it will run. When I get to this age, I will do like this. It is good, but you must put it in paper. And that is why Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 gives us a very clear position there. It says, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Put it down. At every point, have a notebook beside you. What kind of business you want to do. When the idea comes, write it down. Like I rightly mentioned, if it is not written down, we are not sure it exists. We are not sure that you will run that business. And so it is good to put a business plan. A business plan will tell you all about the business. How are you going to get your capital? Where are you going to get your labor? What kind of business will you run? In what environment? What is the market situation? What kind of investment do you need? Who are going to be your partners in the business? All this will be part of what? Your business plan. Will it be a sole trader? Will I run it alone? Will it be by partnership? Will I do it with some other person? Will I set up a company? All these are things that comes within your what? Your business plan. But if all of this business plan, you do not implement it, it does not work. And so the best thing in entrepreneurship is stepping out and setting up the what? The business. Register the business in any area of your field. And as you do that, you will begin to understand that you are having a direction. Another important thing you must be able to learn is you'll be able to learn what are your risk appetites, what are the risk exposure. Business comes with risk. Business comes with various risk exposure. Are you ready to take risk? What kind of risk can you take? That will determine how far you will go in the business. You need also to develop what? To develop skills, good habits, qualifications. When I talk about skills, what are those skills that you need to develop? People do not decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. So the things that you want to do tomorrow, you start now to develop those habits, those attitudes, those culture. And as you begin to develop them, it forms your character and attitude. So you develop leadership skill. You develop financial skill. You develop problem-solving skill. You develop technical skill. All these skills depends on what kind of business you want to do, what kind of business you want to go in. And of course, if you belong to a profession, profession also develops skills, integrity, honesty, code of ethics. Whether as a lawyer, there are code of ethics. Whether as an accountant, there are code of ethics. As an engineer, there are code of ethics. All this put together will build your character. You build your attitude and focus. And all of this is needed for you to run a successful business, depending on the area you want to face. There are a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses you can do. All that is required is for you to develop the skill and the character you need. You know, they build good habits. There are not all business are good businesses for you to run. So the business you must do must be godly, must be moral, must be ethical, and must be pleasing to God. So you must choose the kind of business you do. And that is why we emphasize from the beginning that you must have a place with God to talk to God, and God will define the kind of business you will do. You need to build your trade and qualification. That trade, that vocation, that business you want to run, no matter what it is, what is required to run that business. Because don't forget, as an entrepreneur, you are going to manage people. You are going to manage resources. You are going to manage every aspect of the business. You are going to be involved in planning, in controlling, in directing, in coordinating, in all aspects of management. You put all of it together and you manage it. So you need to put all those things in one. And you need to develop those qualifications and those skills. And when you put those qualifications and those skills together, you can now begin to see that you are working towards what? Developing an entrepreneurship skill and a business in the future. And much more than that, it is good for you to build good network. Building good network simply means that if you work with the wise, you will be wise. But when you work with the companion of fools, you will be destroyed. So build a good network, build a good association, build a good relationship, not just anyhow ungodly relationship, but association that will help you towards your business, what you have in mind. Those relationships that you build, you cannot wake up overnight and go and withdraw money from an account you have not deposited. And so when you build good business relationship, it gives you good business ideas. And over time, it patterns you on the kind of business you want to do. Learn to have good mentors, spiritual mentors and business mentors who you can tap from their knowledge so that your learning curve, the period of your learning experience will be short. But when you don't learn, there is always a price to pay for ignorance. And that is why most times businesses fail, because they don't have good mentors. And at last, and above all, champions make decisions that create the future they desire. The future you desire begins now. Begin to think of it. Begin to pattern your attitude, your behavior, your lifestyle, and begin to dream of it. And with God, your business will come to reality. Whatever vision, profession you want to do, it is a wonderful one, as long as God gives you that career path. And whatever business you want to do there, you can be successful. Only follow these few steps, and God will give you a right. Thank you very much.
You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful information. And I still want to reiterate the fact that hope you're writing. Jot things down. And also with that, we'll be calling up the facilitator that would have been here by now. That is online. Join us online. That is Bro Victor Nketa. He'll be joining us immediately. But before then, I want us to, the facilitators, we are giving 5 minutes each. Please, let's endeavor to keep within that time frame. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Thank you so much. And also, our audience, both here and online, I believe we've been putting down our questions, making them ready, because we are having a question and answer session. Thank you so much. So right now, we'll be hooking up to Bro Victor Nketa, who is already waiting for us. Thank you so much.
So good afternoon, all. I hope you can hear me now. Yeah, so I'll be discussing about the engineering profession. Yeah, engineering is very essential to life. And but confirm you can hear me. Please, can somebody wait from the main hall?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, so I should continue. So engineering is very essential to life. There's virtually anything you do that is not related to engineering. Let me just start from as you are seated now. If you look, you are in a building. That building was designed, built by civil structural engineers. You have electricity, you have power in that house. That is done by the electrical engineers. As I'm speaking to you now, I'm speaking to you from somewhere that's a bit far from you. That's the work of telecoms engineers. So engineering is a field that covers every aspect of our life. There is no place. Even the food you eat, a lot of engineering goes into it. The clothes you wear, the chair you are sitting on, the vehicle that brought you to this same program, everything, you can see the hand of engineers in everything. So engineering is a profession that is very, very essential to life. And that means if you go into engineering, you are not likely to have a case that, okay, there is no work for me to do. There are different branches of engineering. Like I said, you have the mechanical engineering that deals with machine, the cars you're driving, the motorcycles, the grinding machine, the blender. Mechanical engineering. So if I continue, so for you to go into engineering, the key thing in engineering is it's an application of mathematics and science. So as a secondary school student, you'll be looking at having interest in courses like mathematics, English, biology, chemistry, and physics. These 5 subjects are very key. If you are not interested in mathematics, then it's difficult for you to do engineering. So if you want to do JAMB now, you should be looking at doing something like mathematics, English, physics, chemistry, biology, any of them. Each one can be related to different parts of engineering. Let me say, if you want to do something like electrical engineering, then you should be good in physics and maths. Computer engineering, same. Chemical engineering should be good in chemistry. So, but the good thing in engineering is that any field of engineering you study, there is wide opportunity for you to work, wide field for you to work. There's hardly any field of engineering that you study that you need to struggle to get work. That's the reality. Because engineering aids life. And as long as there is life, human beings will need engineers. And it's even interesting these days that we see engineers working in banks because they know that engineers solve problems. So engineering is a field that, how would I put it, that you cannot regret that you've gone into. But I will always advise people, we have the very, very basic engineering courses that we all know. Agric engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering. But we have some newer ones coming up. Software engineering is coming up. Genetic engineering is coming up. All these help life. And the good thing in some of them is that if you study one, you can actually work in another one because most of them are interrelated. When you go into higher institution, you notice that for engineering at times, for the first 2-3 years, you all do the same thing until you start getting to specialization. And so that's why when you see engineers in the real world, they work in the oil industry, they work in banks, they work in almost all industries that you can think of. You have engineers there. Because you have electrical engineers, you have mechanical. So engineers cover everywhere. There can't be a time they say there is no work for engineers. They cover everywhere. But like I always say, don't go into engineering if you are not really interested in mathematics, so that you don't start struggling with it. But if you are interested in maths and you've prayed and God is leading you into the engineering field, I want to assure you that that's like the best field you can think of. It's so wide, the opportunities are so vast, the world is developing every day.
And as the world is developing, they are looking for engineers more and more. So I will encourage you, if that's where your interest is and God is leading you there, you are in a very good field. Move on with it. Be serious with your mathematics, with your physics, with your chemistry, with your biology, and then you can easily slot in into any engineering field. I would like to stop it at that. I'll take the questions later. Thank you very much.
He's also going to add more to what Engineer Victor Inketa has talked on engineering. So Mr. Ibe Jackson is an operations engineer in Shell Petroleum and Development Company. He has so many certifications attached to his name. He has his National Diploma and BEng in Mechanical Engineering. He has his PGD in Process Design Engineering. And he has his MSc in Renewable and Sustainable Energy. Mr. Ibe Jackson also has more than 22 years of experience as an engineer. So pick up your pen and your jotters and make sure you take notes of the salient points he's going to give us. Thank you.
God bless you all. Okay, just as Victor Nketa has mentioned, that the need for engineering cannot be overemphasized. But beyond the passion, you must be someone that is willing and ready to study. It's not a job for any person. It's a person that is determined and the person that is ready to work very hard. So you must have been persuaded from God because of you have seen it as a passion. But as I said, beyond passion, you must have rated your strength and your capability that, yes, you can burn all-night candle. In other words, you are willing to read. There are people that are not willing to read. And those that are not tactical in thinking, critical thinkers, because you need to stretch beyond your limits. And until you have that at the back of your mind, you have the need to solve problems. Because engineers, one good thing about them, they are problem solvers. So you must look beyond it that you have the need to solve problem. And you see that in you. I remember as a young man, far when I was young, I see myself taking knife, not screwdriver. When nobody's at home, I'll go and I'm so inquisitive to know how electricity passes through cables and the rest of it. So I remember one of my experiences, I just went to touch a live wire and it shocked me, basically because of what I want to know. Some other time I've dug the ground, I was wondering, how is water flowing in tap? And I dug the ground, filled in water and fixed a pipe, making experiments and the rest of it. So you must have that passion for engineering. And just as we have known, your locality again helps you. For those of us here, especially in Port Harcourt, the area and the field in this area, we are aware of oil and gas. So if that want to drive your passion, you are looking at the kind of engineering you'll be studying. Just as we are told, we may study the rudiments of it, but when we are going higher, then we may branch into other further areas. Like we know oil and gas is springing so forth. Just as we have learned, I'll be specific about renewable energy. Renewable energy is a new form of engineering. sustainability. So you see solar, many other things coming up. These are new forms of engineering that are coming up. They've been there before, but they are new discoveries. So the tentacle is not limited. So, and you on your own part, you'll be willing to move further, not just limit yourself on just a particular field. You have the opportunity to dive into various fields, and that will help you to grow. So we have learned about the subjects as a secondary school students, but let's be careful that we know these things and we love them and we want to study deeply to get them. Mathematics is good as much as you have the passion, but you want to study deeply. So when the chips are done, you'll be able to come up fully on them and God will help us. God bless you. I think I'll stop here.
You can do better than that. Thank you very much. Another facilitator we want to call up will be joining us online too. It's no other person but Mrs. Victor Ime Temitope. She'll be coming up next. She works at CWG PLC. She occupies the position of the regional manager. Certifications to her career, and that is BSc, MSc Computer Science, PhD in View. Are you not clapping? MCPN, MNCS, MCCE, and wow, MCSA, Cisco Sales Specialist, ITIL V3. All of these are certifications on her career. And also she has more than 15 years experience in this of her career. And she'll be taking us through the journey of her course of study, what she's been doing, and how as teenagers we could avail of ourselves of the knowledge she'll provide for us. Once again, a round of applause for Mrs. Temitope as she takes on. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you so much. Glad to be here, grateful to be here, hopeful to be here. Thank you. I would like to start on this note from Proverbs 22:29. Says that a man diligent in his business, he will stand before kings, he shall not stand before mean men. It is important we know that it is with God that we can succeed and become professional. For the purpose of this discussion, first I will talk about information technology. I will go on to tell you the benefits of studying it as a discipline. I will open your eyes to areas of information technology and talk about job offers. Information technology is anything related to computer technology, such as networking, hardware, software, the internet. So if you like surfing the web, you see yourself interested in running cables with the WCS team, you like what you see every time the screen pops up during church services, and you can hook up to YouTube. The enabler for all of this is information technology. So technology is around us today, everywhere, in education, in mining, in oil and gas, in manufacturing, in shipping, in all professions. IT enables all professions. So good to know that while you are in secondary school, there are some specific subjects you might want to be looking at. In secondary school, you should look out for mathematics, English, chemistry, physics, and biology. Most importantly, look out for further mathematics. If you could take it during your senior secondary school division, it's fine. It will give you an edge when you want to apply for admission to the tertiary institution. This gave me an edge for the first 3 years of my study for computer science biology, because there are courses that you will have to solve integrals, differentiation calculus. So if you're not very good in further mathematics, you might not pick up fast. And you might want to be discouraged that, oh, my mates are trying to get this as fast as possible in class. But when you are in school, when you are in school, you have a large crowd during your 100 level. So catching up might be a lot more tedious. So it's important while you're in secondary school, you try as much as possible to look out for this subject. And if you know that you are very good at solving problems, for example, the task is given in class, and you find yourself going through the lines to make sure you come up with a problem, watch out for information technology. It might be an area you might be interested in. What are the benefits of studying IT? Today, I boldly say computer science will make the world a better place because I've been working from home for more than 2 years now. My table is so clean at the office. So if I did not stop studying computer science, I don't think this would have been easier for me managing the home. Before, we used to envy those in the education sector that they have time. But as a computer scientist, I think I have more time now to manage other activities. Computer science jobs are also lucrative and rewarding. Computer science offers scholarships. So I can send the links that you could apply for scholarships to tertiary institutions to study computer science abroad, so that you can be open and be available to more opportunities. Also look out for Google, Microsoft, HP, and Amazon scholarships while you are in school. This will reduce the cost of your parents' funding throughout your tertiary study. And please look out for the oil and gas companies. Normally, when you are at 100 level, those in engineering and science, most importantly, computer science and geology, they are the first to grasp oil and gas opportunities before every other courses. So if God gives you the opportunity and you like what you have seen today or what you have heard, please make sure that you are available and your ears are to the ground. Today, technology also has enabled our virtual camp meetings. I can't remember the year we were at the best for camp meeting, but thank God, technology has helped. Yes, technology and engineering are intertwined, but technology sits on the surface to enable the design, the building, and every other thing you have on that. The information technology areas we have today: cloud computing, data center, databases. So paraventure, after your first degree, you want to get a job. I tell you, getting a job will be easy breezy by the grace of God. I don't think I've ever applied to any company to work for any company, not at all. By the grace of God, God did it all. But just make sure you are doing the right thing. So when you get into university, try as much as possible to register for CPA, that's Computer Professional Registration Council of Nigeria. You can start registering as a student. Try as much as possible to also register for the Nigerian Computer Society. Ask around, you will see their posters in your university. In secondary schools, make sure you are prepared so that when you get to the world of tertiary institution, it will be just easier for you to plug in. You can have a LinkedIn account. Nothing stops you from having a LinkedIn account. I know most of you have access to the internet now. Have a LinkedIn account, start linking up with people, have so many connections. It will open you up to so many opportunities that you have out there. There are Microsoft certifications that you can take that can easily just prioritize you above your peers. I remember the first job offer I had when I declined unemployment at the bank. I was not invited to be interviewed, but submitting my CVs and I already had certifications just paved a way, and they were like, oh, okay, this is somebody who is already ready. So it is important that as a child of God, you are prepared and you are ready for the outside world before time. You can drop a note when it's Q&A, and if you have more questions regarding the information technology profession, I'll be really and glad to respond. Thank you for your time. I hope it was worthwhile.
You can do better than that. So the next on our list is Mr. Stanley Obi. He's going to be talking to us on banking and finance. So Mr. Stanley is a manager at UBA PLC. He has his BSc in marketing. He has his CIBN, CIFC, and CIA. He has 15 years of experience in his profession. that, please. So now we give the floor to Mr.
Good
Stanley as he talks to
afternoon.
us on banking and finance. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I hope we are all doing well and we are safe. I want to thank my brothers and sisters who have shared their knowledge and their expertise in various fields. I only wish that if I had called up to be the last speaker, because we are traders of money. You know, many people speak English, but at the end, all the professions at the end they will make money and they will come to dump it somewhere or save it somewhere. So in banking, unlike other professions, we don't necessarily need to ask you to be good in mathematics or physics or chemistry. In fact, if you like, go and read Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo. There is something for you to do in banking, okay? But banking has, I want us to see banking as a very easy profession. What do we do in the bank? Very simple. We turn to Brother Samuel, who has excess money, maybe say £1 billion, and he doesn't know what to do with it. He just come to keep it with me. And I turn to Brother Leko, who is an entrepreneur that has so many expertise and so many things to do with money. And I discussed with Brother Leko, and we agree on terms and conditions. And of course, here he goes. He signs the paper, I give him the money. Brother Lekon goes to make more money and bring back the money. And Brother Theophilus needs money. All right. So what am I trying to say in essence? We play this intermediation, this role of taking from the surplus end and supply to the deficit end for the need of capital. Okay. So, but in doing that, brothers and sisters, there are prerequisites in terms of character, where we mention integrity, where we mention transparency, where we mention accountability, because the man that will come to keep the money with you is the man that believes in your character and that knows that you have integrity. All right. So many of us today, I know when banks debit you for one thing or the other, you start shouting, that bank, they are criminals and all that. I want to go and put my money. Why do you want to put your money? You want to put your money because you perceive that there is no transparency in the system. Maybe when you walk up to the customer service officer and he explains to you why that debit occurred, if you're comfortable with it, you continue the relationship with the bank. But if you're not comfortable, you say, please, let's call it a short, and I move to bank B. But once it's a statutory deduction, it will continue in bank B. Okay? So, and this profession is a profession of integrity. If you do not have integrity, you don't have any business here. If you're not transparent, you do not have any business in the banking sector. And you must be accountable. And there is one important thing I need to mention to all of us. In banking, there is what we call oath of secrecy. And let me just put it the layman's way. If I and my wife walks into a bank to open an account, and I eventually open my own personal account, and my wife comes back the next day to ask, hey, Mr. Customer Service Officer, what's the balance of my husband? That customer service officer do not have the right to divulge that information to my wife just because he or she saw me and my wife walking to the bank the previous day. Okay, so that oath of secrecy is very, very important, that every information that our clients, our customers supply to us is kept safe. Okay, so and in banking too, because all we deal is with customers, you need to activate your customer service spirit. You will see a whole lot. There is nothing you will not see, both the rich, the average, just name them. In fact, I have once in my career encountered a madman that owns an account in the bank. All right. And the madman will come. What he will be doing is share his money into five naira, take my slip and spread it and deposit it with all manner of names. This is something that you can model together, fill the form, and it will be posted. But we are under obligation to post it because that is how he has chosen to run his account. Okay. Until he's certified as a madman, we will not declare him as a madman. So you have to deal with that client the way he or she wants to be dealt with. So, and we have to be disciplined. It's true. And we have to have the spirit of problem solving. We play an advisory role to all professions that wants to, especially the people that wants to borrow money. Some might call money, but look at what they want to do with it. That's why sometimes I talk to myself, banking is almost like jack of all trades. You're lending money to the guy in engineering, you're lending money to the guy in agriculture, you're lending money in the information technology, what you are going into. Because recall, the funds that you have does not belong to you, but belongs to the masses. So you need to be very careful in your dealings, with people to make sure that once you lend that money, it will definitely come back, because you don't know when Mr. A won't come for his money. Okay. So, but basically, most times when I speak, I keep telling my brothers and sisters that we have found ourselves in Apostolic Faith Church, and the doctrine and the teachings in the church will make you find yourself suitable in the banking industry, because that's where the holiness is preached, that's where purity is preached. So if you find yourself in the banking industry, it's a lot easier for you to just move ahead, because you already have the integrity. I mean, you're already trustworthy. So you know what it means. So you know that you fear God. You know that you don't need to pilfer people's cash. You know that you're accountable to your creator. You know that judgment day is coming someday. And this is actually what banking entails. Okay. So it's a very good profession. It's a profession that, yes, I can be in banking for 50 years and decide to do my own business. And once a banker starts a business and the banker fails, tell the person that he's not a banker. Because why in banking, you have seen several businesses, you have managed several relationships, you have seen businesses failed, you have seen succeeded, those that succeeded, and you copy from them to go start your own business. And nobody will even tell you the business that you're going to, because you already know, okay, from experience. So I encourage every one of us who wants to be a banker to come join the system, even if it's for 5 years or 6 years or even 3 years. You have a lot to learn. Here and take questions when the time comes. Thank you, and I appreciate you all. Hello.
A better round of applause, please. And before I call up our next facilitator, I want to get feedbacks now. Because we've been learning. I want somebody to tell me, how many facilitators have we had so far? How many facilitators? How many? Is someone raising his hand or a hand? Yes, you. 5. I'm hearing that. Yes, you. 6 facilitators. I want us to pay attention. Now, if somebody's sleeping next to you, just do me that favor to tap him or her. Just tap him or her. All right. And I want us to just go back a little bit, 2 minutes, and do something to stretch. If you're happy and you know it, say amen. But I want us to do the next one now. If you're happy and you know it, stand up. Aha, now we know those that is. Some of us are not standing, no. If you're happy and you know it, just stretch. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, sit down. Thank you so much. We go on to the next facilitator, and it's no other person but Mr. Arikibe Chidi Savior. He works at Kenyon International West Africa Limited.
He's an accountant, and certifications accrue to his career
First, it will start from your secondary level. When you're about to write any of the WAEC or all other external exams, what are the relevant subjects that you need to take to enable you become or study accounting? One, English and maths is very compulsory.